If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
55 times a game.
And we're in a world of fantasy sports. And fantasy sports is all about numbers. And we get infatuated with numbers. Numbers do not tell you how good a team is or how good a player is. We're seeing a lot of guys with 100 receptions. That used to be a benchmark. That's nothing anymore.
1,000 yards in rushing used to be a benchmark.
Yeah, and we keep saying this guy had 8,000-yard years. So, man, to get 1,000 yards in 16 games is like 62.5 yards a game. That's nothing. And we say nowadays, if he's done that, and if you did it for like 10 years, you're Hall of Famer. I think that's ridiculous to make this statement anymore. I think it's sad when we have this room come Saturday morning that they're going to be full of writers who really don't know the sport anymore. Because remember, I think it's like 11 of those guys, so what is it, 33 of those guys are lifers. Then the other 11 are, I think they fluctuate their votes every 2 years, something of that nature. So now you get these guys who don't really have to cover the sport.
Okay, so how does reform happen, Rod? I mean, let's talk about reform.
But it starts with the Hall. Remember, the Hall of Fame is an independent agency. It's not the NFL Hall of Fame. This is a non-profit organization. They have to start it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. They have to start it. They have to do it. They made up this process.
Well, I mean, I've gotten to the point now as a fan, and I always have reverence for the Hall of Fames. I mean, my cousin's in the Baseball Hall of Fame, 1984, and with the steroids and the stats and all of that stuff in baseball, because, I mean, baseball's still the pure thing that you could look on the back of a bubblegum card and judge a man by his stats, and whether that's Burt Blyleven or Alomar, those guys that are in the Shannon Sharp position of not being in but kind of on the edge. Football's different for guards and tackles. It's, it wasn't a game born out of statistics. But on top of that, I just get the feeling that someone needs to speak up, and I don't know who that person's going to be.
I know I have for the last 3 years. I mean, I absolutely disagree with the process. I don't like
it. It devalues your Hall of Fame status, Rod. It really does.
I mean, my question. How do you ask 44 guys who've never played to tell me how good I was? That's crazy. That's like saying, hey, Rod, I need you to read this literature book and tell me how good it is. Well, that's not my forte. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's like telling me to go to a restaurant and be a food etiquette or critique.
Right.
I can't do it.
Right.
It's not my forte. Or taste wine. I don't do it.
Where can we set that up? I'll be happy to do that.
But I mean, you have to know your limitations. And the problem I have with the 44 guys in that room, they don't know their limitations. They think they know football. And that's what's scary. That's what's really scary, because this is a different age. How many times do we see so-called beat writers on TV talking about the X's and O's of football? But you don't know the X's and O's of football.
Were you afraid to speak out about that, Rob, before you got in?
I think
before you got in?
No. If you speak the truth, people can't be mad at you.
You want to bet?
They can be mad at you.
You're talking to the wrong guy.
But they can be mad at you. They can be mad at you. They might not disagree. They might not agree with you, but they cannot hold it against you. They know what I'm saying is right. The problem is they're so proud. They have so much pride. They don't want to give up that spot. And what I say, okay, if you don't want to give that spot up and you think it's a privilege, then tell me your vote. Every guy that's in that room, when they make the vote, yay or nay, they should give a reason in the paper. And it should go public. This is not the Vatican where the black smoke has to come out and all that stuff when you get a new pope. I mean, come on. Crying out loud. You want the spot, then have enough nerve and enough courage to say why, but don't do it behind closed doors and go, he didn't, it's hard. When the last catch did you remember? Did you ever have a good game? The guy had the first 100-yard receptions in the National Football League, Art Month, and they was holding so many different things against him. Just like,
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.